I have here on the table my two bodice pieces, the outer and the liner. The outer and the liner are identical to one another. Essentially, I have created two identical bodice pieces that I will sew together, right sides together, first around the neckline opening. We will begin by placing the two bodice fronts, right sides together, one atop the other, lining up the neckline. Line up the arm size as well. Make sure that everything is flat and straight. Begin pinning or clipping around the opening of your neckline, adhering the liner to the bodice. Pin at the shoulder seams, center front, center back, and the points in between. Once you have pinned your neckline, you can serge or sew with a stretch stitch around the opening of your neckline, adhering the liner to the outer with right sides together. Here, you can see my bodice with the neckline sewn and pressed. The bodice front is here, and I have the liner and the outer. We are going to begin the burrito method by rolling our garment toward one of the arm size. Begin rolling your garment forward. Continue rolling until you reach the other arm side. You can see here I have my garment outer and my garment liner. I am now going to lift the garment outer and the burrito and slide the liner back toward me, flipping it under and placing it flat. You can now see the outer and the liner. We'll do the same on the other side. I will grasp the outer and the burrito and lift it slightly and flip the liner back and toward me, smoothing out the outer portion. And now you can see the right sides of the liner and the right sides of the outer. We will flip them together, right sides together, and pin or clip. I always begin pinning at the underarm point at the end of the arm side. Line up your points, pin or clip, and do the same to the other side. I do the shoulder seams, and this point can be a little tricky because it's a narrow opening. So find the shoulder seam on your outer and work out the shoulder seam on your liner from the other side. You can see the burrito roll in between the two. Manipulate the burrito roll so that it is more flat and line up the shoulder seams, ensuring that you have only two layers of fabric, the liner and the outer. When you sew this portion, take special attention to slide your finger in the burrito and push the burrito filling out of the way, ensuring not to catch it in your stitching. Once you have it fully pinned, you can stitch along the arm side. We will not be stitching the side seams here on either side. We will only stitch from the clip around the curve to the other clip. Once you have your arm size sewn, you can open the burrito and gently grasp the filling and work it out until you have your garment turned right side out again. And you can see the magic that is the burrito roll method. It has created a clean arm side here. And now we will do the same thing for the other side. You can see that this arm side is still open. I'm simply going to roll my garment forward toward the unsewn arm side. And just like before, I'm going to pick up the outer and the burrito and flip the liner back toward me. Smooth out the outer and repeat. Take your liner and your outer, place them right sides together, pinning or clipping the underarm points. Pin or clip the shoulder seam, working the burrito filling out of the way. And continue pinning or clipping along the curve of the arm side. Once your second arm side is sewn, you can open the burrito and gently work the filling out until your garment is right side out. You will now have both arm sides cleanly sewn, and we can finish our bodice by sewing our side seams. You can see here that the side seams remain open. We are simply going to place these right sides together, pin or clip, and stitch. I'm going to take the outer on one side and line it up with the outer on the other side, placing them right sides together. Pin or clip along the length of the side seam, lining up the point where the lining meets the outer, and pin the lining as well. Stitch along this seam. Once stitched, and you fold them back down, wrong sides together, you can see the clean side seam that's clean on both the inside and the outside. Now, one quick thing to note is that for this demonstration, I have used a contrasting liner. I did this to make it more visually recognizable which is the outer and which is the liner. However, when I'm sewing my garments, I often use the same fabric for the liner or a fabric of the same color. For instance, here I would use ivory, so that if a portion of the liner rolls out a small bit, it's not as noticeable as a contrast liner would be. So now we're going to finish the other side seam, simply opening up your side seams and placing them right sides together, pinning and clipping, and stitching. One of the things I love about the lined bodice is that not only does it look clean along the neckline and the arm side, but it also eliminates exposed seams on the inside for a very comfortable fit. I just love how clean it looks and how clean it feels. I hope this is helpful for you in constructing your tank top using the burrito roll method.